Welcome back to History in Motion, proudly brought to you by Midas.
Before the break, we asked you a quick question. Which Hollywood actor came second in the 1979 Le Mans 24 Hours? And the answer is Paul Newman in Dick Barber's Porsche 935.
Wheels, check. Suspension, check. Belts, check. Let's go racing. It's time for the InvestCam Formula Fords to hit the track and show us what they're made of.
It's a new car that's freshly rebuilt, the oldest car in the field, so we'll see. But don't get too many chances with making a living in the rally series. Just got it ready, and it's a good shakedown for next year for the international races. It's a 1972 Dulon. It was raced in the local series in the 70s, and it was quite a competitive car in its day. And even with a proper driver, it would not be all that competitive now.
Yeah, it's been good so far. Haven't fallen off, nothing broken, so it's been a good day. The car's going fine. It's only slow because of me.
The drivers are ready and the championship will go down to the wire with Graham Hepburn and Ian Schofield battling it out for top honours. Hepburn heads up the grid with David Jeremy alongside him. Championship leader Ian Schofield will start behind Hepburn in third. Andrew Schofield will start from 6th place and Jonathan Nash from 7th place with Stuart Thompson in 12th. The drivers pull up to their grid positions and the nerves will be jangling as they prepare for their penultimate race of the season. A standing start for the InvestCam Formula Fords. The lights go out, the clutches drop and they're off. The field pours through the start-finish line and barrels down to turn 1. Hepburn takes the early lead. Looking back from the iron on board of Ian Schofield, we see David Jeremy and Matthew Nash battling it out as we head round turn 2. Schofield looks to have the inside line on Hepburn. Powering down and he makes it past to take the lead. The field streams past into turn 4. David Jeremy chasing the front too hard with Nash and Stratham running side by side into 4. Into sunset and it's still Ian Schofield ahead of Graham Hepburn. On board with Schofield and Hepburn is all over the back of him. Up the inside, Hepburn dives as they head into clubhouse. Great move and he seems to have made it stick. Donnie Lamola is off and that'll be disappointing for her. Through the S's and Jonathan Nash is being hounded by Andrew Schofield as they climb up to Westbank. On board with Schofield as he looks for a way past Nash. Down the inside he goes into Westbank, hugging the apex. He has made it past and will have to work to hold on to the advantage. Heading out of Westbank and Jonathan Nash makes a play down the inside line. Down the mine shaft we go. Hepburn seems to have held the Nash brothers at bay for now. He takes the inside line into the bowl. Round they come and the 3 exit the bowl and head up to turn 13 nose to tail. The next lap and Hepburn still leads Schofield at the front, but it's Jonathan Nash who is doing his best to work his way up the order as he sets himself up for the inside line going into Westbank and he finds the way past his brother. Ben van der Westhuizen leads Andreas Petru through turn 3 and up to 4. Behind them we see Jonathan Nash ahead of Alex Gillespie. Nash had an off-camera spin which resulted in him dropping back in the field. He will have his work cut out for him if he wants to get back on terms with his brother. Into sunset, Van der Westhuizen and Petru go, barely a car's length separating the two. They power on up to clubhouse. Petru has a look down the inside, but Van der Westhuizen is not going to give up that easily, and he keeps the power down as he comes back at him from the outside. Down the hill they come to turn 14. David Jeremy and Jeff Gable are side by side. Into turn 14. Jeremy has the inside line and makes Gable work for it. Jeremy takes the advantage, but Gable moves left and fights back. Down the start-finish straight, and there's nothing in it between the pair. This is a great battle. Jeremy takes the advantage into turn 1, but Gable is right behind him, keeping the pressure on. Into the bowl and Matthew Nash takes the inside line and moves ahead of Van der Westhuizen, but Van der Westhuizen is not giving up without a fight. Side by side the pair make their way up to turn 13. Nash on the inside will have the advantage, but can he make it count? Round they go and Nash leads Van der Westhuizen down to turn 14. Van der Westhuizen is all over the back of Nash looking for any way past. This battle has allowed Andreas Petru and Alex Gillespie to catch right back up to the pair as they head onto the start-finish straight. Nash still leads Van der Westhuizen heading into turn 1, but Alex Gillespie has made a move on Andreas Petru as he has a look down the inside, but he's unable to make it stick as the pair head through turn 2. Side by side, the leaders come into the bowl. Hepburn has the inside line and will be pushing hard to make it work for him. Ian Schofield will be waiting for an error to take advantage of. As they climb to turn 13, Hepburn marginally ahead of Schofield. Down the hill, the pair barrel, heading for the final corner on the last lap. Schofield has a look down the inside, but it's not enough as Hepburn is able to maintain the lead, taking the outside line, and Hepburn races to the checkered flag and victory in race 1. Behind them, David Jeremy is getting it all crossed up as he heads down the hill. Matthew Nash is right behind him and will not be easing up on the pressure as they head for the line. Ben van der Westhuizen leads Andreas Petru and Alex Gillespie to the flag. Confirmation of the results, and Graham Hepburn finished just 6/10 of a second ahead of Ian Schofield. After all his efforts, Matthew Nash picked up a 30-second penalty for a jump start, and this dropped him from 6th to 12th in the results. We catch up with the championship leaders.
I got a good start, got away a little bit, then Graham got me into Clubhouse, then managed to hang on to him for a while. He got away, and then I managed to pull him back in, and it was really close at the end, but great racing, very good.
Ian got a good start, and I managed to get him into Clubhouse, and then I put my head down and tried to get away. I got away, and then he started reeling me back in, and I had to defend quite rapidly towards the last few corners, but I managed to keep him out, and yeah, let's see what happens in the second heat.
I had a really nice race. I had a good start, jumped a few people, and that helped me to get ahead of them initially. But they wouldn't leave me alone, and they were battling all over me. And a few times I thought I'm not going to make it, but I managed to hold on at the end and have a good position.
This man at the start can overtake the moon rocket. He came barreling from the back and got in front of me. And he defended very well, and we had a very nice race, but I couldn't get past him without causing a crash anyway. But yes, we enjoyed the race, and it was very nice.
It wasn't such a fantastic race. I fell off at the top chasing my brother. He got a little bit out of shape, and then I just spun in sympathy for him, I think. And then I just had to come from the back again, across the grass and everything like that, and eventually caught Ben and Alex, and everyone was having a big ding-dong, so it was easy to catch them. Then Alex missed a gear, so I managed to get past him. And then, yeah, it was just a matter of picking Andreas and Ben off when there was a gap. Because they were fighting with each other, I had to kind of pick a gap and pass both of them. So it was a very exciting race. Yeah.
I had an absolutely horrendous start, so I watched everyone pretty much disappear into the distance. Left at the back by myself, wondering how to catch up, and then that way was Matt. So he came through, gave me a nice tow back up to Andreas and Ben, and then didn't really manage to get through, but it was an amazing race, last 3 laps.
The clouds have drawn in and race 2 has been declared a wet one. This will certainly mix things up a bit as the drivers head onto the track. Jonathan Nash is off, then the lights go out, and now we're racing. Nash flies down the inside and up into 3rd place by turn 1. Graham Hepburn leads Ian Schofield, and these two are fighting it out for the championship with just 3 points between them. Into turn 2, and Monte Stradom flies down the right-hand side of Nash and takes 3rd. The battle of the yellow Fords continues, with Alex Gillespie having a look down the inside of Andreas Petru as they head up the hill. Jeff Gable, in the meantime, has found a way past the black Swift of Jonathan Nash as they head into 4. Into sunset, Gable is still ahead of Nash, who is piling the pressure on as they head into Clubhouse. From the iron on board, we see Jonathan Nash take the inside line into Clubhouse. He holds firm and he gets past Gable and shows the white Van Diemen the way to the S's. Into sunset, and it's Andrew Schofield on the inside, Matthew Nash on the outside. The pair are side by side as they head out of sunset and up towards Clubhouse. Nash takes the inside line and makes it count as he moves ahead of Schofield. Coming out of turn 13 and down the hill to 14, Schofield hasn't given up just yet, and he takes the inside line and the position away from Nash as they head onto the start-finish straight. Championship leader Ian Schofield has spun off at turn 3. Past him goes Stradom and Nash. This will lose him valuable positions and points to Hepburn. Schofield makes his way back onto the track. Flames flying out of his exhaust. He is sitting in a rather awkward position across the track, and the other cars are having to swerve around him. Alex Gillespie comes past and spins around as well. Schofield and Gillespie get going again, but Schofield will have a lot of work to do to get back on terms with Hepburn before the race is done. Donnie Lamola in the pinky purple Investchem Miguel leads Steve Fenter up to turn 4. Well, it looks like she has found the oil that Hepburn and Gillespie spun on earlier. Race leader Graham Hepburn makes his way around turn 3, and he finds the oil as well and does many pirouettes into the kitty litter. Hepburn does manage to keep his car going, and he escapes with relatively little time lost and his lead still intact. A lucky escape for him and good news for his championship hopes. Into Westbank, and Matthew Nash and Andrew Schofield are still locked in a battle. Nash took the inside line in the position as they head down the hill to the mine shaft. Matej Stradom and Jonathan Nash are still going at it tooth and nail. Stradom takes the inside line and moves ahead, but Nash fights back. Out of the mine shaft and towards the bowl comes the grey and black ray of race leader Graham Hepburn. He might not be battling on the track, but his nerves will be frayed as he realizes just how close the 2014 championship title is. Stradom stays ahead of Nash as they head up the hill to turn 13. Coming down the hill and into the final corner on the final lap of the final race for 2014 is race leader Graham Hepburn. He will be relieved to see that checkered flag. Behind him, the battle for second still continues as Nash tries everything to get past Stradom, but it's just not enough. Coming home behind them, Ian Schofield has worked his way back up the field, and he leads the Andrew Schofield-Matthew Nash battle round the final bend. Schofield just pipping Nash to the line. With his jump start, Jonathan Nash gets a 30-second penalty and drops to 8th. Andrew Schofield finishes just 0.2 of a second ahead of Matthew Nash. Hepburn's win with Schofield's 4th place means that Graham Hepburn is the 2014 Investchem Formula 4 champion, edging Schofield out by just 2 points.
Sure, I think it's just sinking in at the moment. Hard race, so we had to do the business. I got pole position, I got 2 wins, I just didn't get past this lap. But unfortunately, Ian was trying a little bit too hard and he spun off, and I think that handed me the championship. There must have been something up at turn 4, because that's where Ian spun, and a lap later I also spun. So we're not sure what it was, but I managed to recover and hold it in and come across the finish line.
Joe had quite a quick start there, but I see he jump started, so that maybe explains why. But towards the end we had quite a good dice, and it was a run to the flag, and I just pipped him, so yeah, but a great dice.
After my phenomenal start, I thought, let me just have a bit of a race anyway. Obviously, I didn't want to stuff up any of the leaders in the championship contenders races. So, I managed to catch up to Matej, and I didn't want to do anything too wild, but I had a little sneaky look up the inside at the last corner. But he managed to out-drag me down the straight, and it was an excellent race.
Join us after the break on History in Motion for highlights of the 3-hour endurance race.